Hey y'all, what up? It's your girl Elena the Poet coming to you, asking you once again, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Elena Poet at youtube.com. Yeah, Elena Poet. Subscribe y'all. Eat with the Poet. Peace. And we are back. It's part 2, Eat with a Poet, picking it right back up. Yeah, so like I was saying, they tried not to do it. And I went back, so when I was actually able to Google it, I was able to find it back in 2014. Where initially there was like, y'all remember TV Guide? It was an old TV Guide list. I didn't even know TV Guide, but yeah, probably 2014 it still had TV Guide.
And then the TV Guide went electronic and digital, and it started just coming up on the
television.
TV. Back in the day.
And then it went to on demand.
Went on demand, yeah.
I'm telling y'all, things done changed, man. Even with small things like that. Not to get off the subject, but remember when you didn't really have to have cable because you had a certain few channels where they had UPN, right, all those good stuff, and you would get the good shows, Family Matters, all that stuff would come on. Then they turned around and made you go get a box.
Oh, yeah. You got to get a box now.
A box. So just to get the regular channels. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they were more and more and more is going to get farther away from our children and the generation being able to see what things used to be. Not to be off subject again, but I'm listening to so many songs. Just today, right now, I hear Aaliyah's One in a Million beat. I hear Mariah Carey, the one she did with Old Dirty Bastard. I hear that beat. These are 90s R&B songs that they're taking in 2021. Like, there's so much time. It don't seem that long to me.
No,
from the 90s to now.
When you say not to get off topic, you're actually not off topic because these are things that influence our youth.
That's
all
true.
of it. Like, even with me, like, when I make my songs, like, me being an artist, people find it amazing about the fact that I don't curse in any of my mm-hmm. music. I put good messages in my music. Mm-hmm. So when they hear it, they're like, nah, man, you had to have said something negative. You had to have cursed. You had to, and that's crazy how that's the stigma.
That's that Will Smith energy that you got. You
I think I do it better. I love you,
look,
Will.
Say,
I love you. You don't understand. I think I'm your son. You just gotta ask. You gotta ask somebody, but I do it better than you, brother.
Correct.
But I love you.
Oh,
you're my inspiration. You're my inspiration.
Listen, I'm okay with this. I want to be right. Oh, you did a Fresh Prince song.
I did it.
Y'all. Oh my God, Mustafa. He did a remake of the Fresh Prince song.
At JTM Josh the Man. Y'all can find it.
Y'all gotta go check that out for real. After y'all subscribe to this channel. But no. You're right. Yeah. It has a big influence. And a lot of these kids walking around, this music like it's brand new. And we listening to it like, man, they use that beat?
To be fair, we did the same thing, and our parents was telling us the same thing, too. It's just, it's repeating itself.
I know. It's repeating itself, but still, it still left a lot of the good qualities of the past in it when it was repeated to us. Mm-hmm. That part of it, to me, now is being completely diluted and washed away. Yeah. And so we're still just trying to hold on to what we know. Yeah. And they're building and creating something totally different for them to vibe off of. And I'm not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not feeling it at all. I don't feel it for my upcoming child who's growing up in the same world. So I'm like you. Her dad is very active in her life and tries to make sure that he instills all those values and different things to teach her. And I see it and I love it. And I see the love that she has when she looks at her dad. It is just something you can't even film and capture. You know what I'm saying? It's the feeling. Mm-hmm. You know? So if you had to talk to some of these women out here in the world who are so strong, because you are our men, you are our kings, you are the fathers of the children. And if you had to say something that would empower her, but also encourage her to understand the power of unity between her and the man, what would you say? Just get ready.
I think the most important thing is communication, first of all.
Facts.
So what do we want this relationship to look like? And the bottom line is if we have to coexist, the whole bottom line is the child, that son, that daughter, making sure that they're healthy. So in order for them to be healthy, what do they need to see us do so that they can be healthy and live a great life? And I think some of those things after we communicate is like, how are we handling things? What do we think about religion? What do we think about discipline?
Right.
What do we think about school? What do we think about even taking family trips?
Right.
Or sitting at the dinner table? Is it every man for himself? Are we going to eat at the same time? Do you have to be home at a certain time? All of these things need to be established, and that comes from communication. Without communication, you can't expect to be on the same page. You know what I mean? So with communication saying, okay, well, we're going to go to church on Sunday. Well, or we're going to eat dinner at 5 o'clock every day. So no matter what you're doing, be in that house at 5 o'clock, washed up at the table, so we can do that. Who's going to do the chores? Is it the kids? Are we going to share? These are things that you have to talk about and communicate, because if the kid doesn't learn it at a young age, they're going to grow up to be adults, most likely, who don't know how to do those things, who don't have a particular, don't have structure, who hasn't developed structure, who haven't developed that. When somebody tells them no, that is okay, they're not going to just cry and quit because they didn't, win or get there the particular way. So all of these things are stemmed from communication,
and that it develops long term individuals who are being raised the right way. No right from wrong. These things are long term. So a child is able to sit in the home and see that life is not like that. You can't just run a red light. You got to stop at a red light. Right. There's rules and perimeters that have to be set in life, and we must teach them. I was going to say that a different way. But another thing I thought about, too, is shout out to Mike Todd, man. He is the man. I've been watching him a lot on YouTube, watching relationship goals. It triggered in me when you said relationship and communication. Because he talks a lot about relationships and how things should be if we go according to the true original design, which is the Bible, of how God instructed us to handle relationships. I ain't gonna get all up into that, but what I will say is that when God was making the earth in the beginning, he made light, he made this, he made that. Everything he made, he said it was good. But when he made man, he said it is not good for man to be alone, which means that if I had to piggyback off of anything you were saying, I would say, thank you. If I had to piggyback off of anything you would say,
wait, are those grits?
Yeah, you don't eat grits.
I love grits.
You got grits. Oh my God.
If I had to piggyback and he said it's not good for man to eat with a porridge, y'all. It's not good for man to be alone, which means that what? You could be independent, but you really do. God designed us to be with one another, to help one another. So all this extra, all this, I'm that by myself and all that kind of stuff. No, God didn't create us to be alone. That's not the way things are. And we can't just grab life by the ropes and say, this what I'm going to do. This how I want to run it. This the way it's going to be. It don't work like that. Go ahead. Talk to the ladies. Tell them what you want to tell them now.
I got a lot to say on this one.
I helped you out.
Yeah.
He did. He helped you out a lot.
I got a lot to say on this one. And I want to talk about the women that are not in a relationship. Right? Those are the ones I want to talk to right now. It's okay to put your pride aside, to put that hurt aside, and find a father figure for the child's life. Whether it be an uncle, or a cousin, anybody that you feel like, okay, this is a definition of a man.
That's good.
Whether it's grandfather, whoever it is, you'll ask that person, hey, listen, can you be that guiding light for him for right now? And now I want to talk about the women that date. My ladies. Let me say this.
Handle it.
I got comfortable. It's okay on that first date to try not to impress that man, but to get these answers quick. Meaning, this person is interviewing right now. This is how you need to look at this first date. This is an interview for a possible potential husband and a father figure for my child. That means on that first date, it's okay to ask the question of, do you want to have more kids? How do you feel about a person who already has kids? Well, what do you believe about, education system, stuff like that? Ask those fatherly things, because if he wants to be with you, he needs to be with your child or your children.
Right.
I can't stand it when y'all say, oh, he dating me, he ain't dating my children. Yes, he is. He dating your kids.
She dating that Gucci belt.
With your kids. If you got kids, this is a full package. This is a family deal. This is a combo. It comes with a drink and a fry.
Right.
So please understand that. It's okay to ask those questions. First thing, right off rip. Hi, hey, how you doing? I'm Candace. I got kids. Done. Let's get it started right now. I got kids. I got 3. I got 4. I got 5. You okay with that? If he say no, walk. All right, cool. Thank you for the free meal. I'm out.
Right.
We got food. We got food.
I can give you guys to-go boxes.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. We're going to get that. So it's, like I said, that's all right. Guys, that is okay. Please. That's okay. That's okay. To have those conversations right out gate. Because if this man truly wants to be with you, and he is interested in you, he going to be ready and prepped. He won't be nervous and ready to go. He going to be prepped. He going to, okay, what's up? Let's go. Let's get it. Spotlight. It's on him. It's his time for him to prove himself to you, because you guys are trying to figure out where you're going to go from dating, not just date to date. Hey, I want to be married. I want to possibly be
with purpose.
Date with purpose. I want to be married. So if you're going to be married, how you going to provide for me? How you going to provide for me and my kids? You're going to ask him what he's going to bring to the table. He's in the right to ask you what you're going to bring to the table, because this is a team effort. So you tell him what it is that you do, what you're trying to accomplish. What's going on with your children, or whatever the case may be. You don't have to meet them for you to talk about them. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And he needs to tell you what he's going to bring to the table for you and your children or your child. So please don't be afraid of that. When you guys are afraid of that, it causes some problems, later on, where you fall all madly in love with him. Y'all doing y'all things separate because you never want to bring him home to the kids. And then y'all want to get serious, and it's like, okay, now he needs to meet the children, and now you just not finding out he don't want kids. He don't want to be a father figure.
Right. He hate
kids. And now you all in love with him. So don't be afraid. Please ask those questions. If it's not on a dating tip, then find a family member that's going to be that guiding light. But they need structure, because I also want to piggyback off of earlier discussion that we had when it comes to your children in school. I saw that they were actually yearning for that. I used to work security at Bear Lakes. Shout out to Bear Lakes. And a lot of the so-called problem childs, they weren't problems. Some of them didn't have their fathers growing up. And guess what? They actually gathered to me when I'm throwing out certain things of education. I'm like, why do you do that?
They gravitated to
me. Yeah, they gravitated to me. Why do you do that? They'll tell me why, and I would actually listen. I'm not listening as the adult figure. I know more than you know. I want to hear you. What is your reasoning behind this? You give it to me, and I flip it back at you and say, look, this is how it's not beneficial to you, and this is how it is beneficial to you. And they listen to that because they didn't get that.
Right.
So, unfortunately, some of them would actually cause some problems just so they can come out in the hallway and talk to me. It was hilarious. I had to tell them not to do that, but it was flattering.
They loved you. That's what it is. Yeah.
So, but they loved the energy that I brought. It wasn't necessarily me.
Right.
It was the fact that structure was in me,
yeah.
And I was giving it to them in that short amount of time. So please, ladies, put aside the pride. Throw away that hurt, that whoever did it to you, okay, that's cool. Move forward. Take those lessons. Take those, what's the new thing, the red flags that's going around everywhere on social media? Take all that. Move forward. But don't forget that it's about that child having that balance.
And that's true, too, because like what you were saying, everything we do, we want to do it with purpose at a certain point in life, especially when children are involved. And that goes to choice making. And like Mustafa was saying, communication. You have to really screen the people that you allow into your life, because like how you were saying, start it off being transparent and being honest. Don't waste your time, because you're wasting your time and the children's time. Whether they're physically, in attendance on this date or not, you are wasting their time as well. And so, we want to to take away as many positive notes from this as we possibly can in order to better ourselves as people, to evolve ourselves, and if not for the entire group of us, just individually. What can I do to be different? How can I be effective? What kind of seeds can I put back into the atmosphere? How can I say something about this particular subject that I feel like needs to be addressed that maybe will cause people to look or think differently? So I think that that's really, really important. Was there anything else that either of you wanted to share today in regards to being great fathers? How old is your daughter?
My daughter is, she's 28 now.
28 years old. This man don't look like he got a 28-year-old daughter. Now, does he, ladies? I say, does it? But so, what is it?
No, she's not 28. She's 26.
26. You just remember, because if she would have watched this and you would have said 28, she would have been like, Dad.
Really? Yeah, she's 26.
26? Yeah, so, and I see you, she's such a beautiful girl.
Yeah, I've been blessed with some amazing kids. My son is at Florida A&M University studying computers, and he's into music also, producing. And my daughter,
naturally,
actually, we just did, this COVID thing was interesting because when COVID hit, I teach school, so now we're home, and I had all of this free time, and I always said, I wonder what my life would be like if I had the time that I say I need for me to be successful.
Wow.
So all of a sudden,
that's powerful.
Like, bing,
you
have
time.
all of this free time. and I was sitting around, and I was like, okay, let me roll these sleeves up, and I'm about to get to work. I'm about to do everything that I want to do. So I started working on the jazz festival. I recorded about 4 or 5 different albums. I produced.
Wow, that's amazing.
Didier Labozier's new CD. He just came out. He's charting already. I produced his CD.
Come on, Mustafa.
I did a CD entitled "Black Man Keep Going," and big shout out to the great Moses Washington. He's a producer, playwright,
I love Moses.
director.
He's been here. Shout out to Mo West.
Yeah. Working with him and Larisha Washington was absolutely amazing because we came together with this concept, and I did a full orchestration with rhythm section, piano, bass, drums, a choir, lead singers, and violins, flutes, clarinets. I mean, full orchestration. And the song is entitled "Black Man Keep Going." So, in addition to that, I worked with Antonia Wilson and the great Jonathan Joseph, drummers in town, international drummer, and we did a song entitled "Mosaic Love." And the most rewarding project I did during COVID was one with my daughter, and I literally called her. She was down in town, and I said, "Hey, come take a ride with me." And, she always does what I say. She's a sweetheart. she's a sweetheart. She can get anything she wants from me anytime. So she got in the car, and I didn't tell her where we were going. I took her to the music studio, and we actually, I said, okay, we're about to do an album. And I literally put the track on, and I said, okay, let's write these words. We produced a song. I produced a song with her writing in and there.
She sings, or?
She sings.
Oh.
And, I threw her into the fire.
Oh my God.
You know how I do it. And that track is entitled "Can't Deal," and she's actually doing really well. She's charting already, and she's on the Smooth Jazz playlist, and she's doing an amazing thing. But the bottom line is, like, what are you going to do with your time? What are you going to do with your kids? Are you going to give them the iPhone, the phone, and let the phone babysit them? Are you going to let the television grow them up or develop them or teach them? No, you have to take your kid, and you have to instill values into them. And what that means is it's not going to just be go play your phone, go play your phone, go watch TV. No, you got to take them to the library, have them learn how to check out books, read some books, teach them how to cook, how to make some eggs, talk to them about banking, talk to them about credit cards, and you can start with stocks. You can teach your kids anything you want, because you know what? Those other cultures, they do that. Mm-hmm. So when you have time, when you have tangible time, free time, or whatever you want to call it, make sure you utilize that in a way that's going to benefit you and your family and the community.
That is so good. That is so good. Did you want to leave any last words of encouragement?
I actually want to piggyback off of that too. The number one excuse that we have, and I do call it an excuse, is we don't have time. That's an excuse. Like I said, even what Mustafa just said, communication, it doesn't have to just fall directly on you. Remember, it takes a village. So if you don't have time today, communicate with your spouse or the person that that helped you make this child. Hey, listen, this is what I wanted to teach them. Right. Can you take over while I go to work? Can you do this while I do this? Can you do that? There should be no excuse why that child shouldn't get the education that they need, or what you wanted to teach them that day, or that week, or that month. Just you have all your resources. Don't have it all just fall on your shoulders. It doesn't have to do that, because I know that for a fact of my excuse would be time. Like I want to do these things with my child, but I don't have time. I want to do this, but I don't have time because I got to provide. I have to do this. I have to do that. Don't do it by yourself. But again, don't be too prideful that you can't ask for help. Just know who to ask for and who you can rely on that's gonna take over that and get it done. Get it done. It's for your child. So I'm always gonna speak on that other side of what people don't want to talk about, and that's broken homes. And it's not the end of the world. I grew up in a broken home, and we made it work. You can make it work. So if you have that baby mama, you just don't get along with it, I'm gonna have to tell you, it's probably your fault. If you and her cannot communicate, and you guys are going tit for tat back and forth, especially as the man, take control of that situation. If you know her faults, if you know that she's this or she's that, then you should be moving around that to get things done. Okay, yeah, I know this is your trigger, so I'm not going to say that. What can I do to get this done for my child?
For my child. You
know what I'm saying? Same, vice versa. If your baby daddy is not the most comprehensive person, handle it. Handle it. Know what to do to get around that and get things done for your child. Y'all shouldn't be going back and forth, going through court systems and using the child as a weapon. Stop. Stop. Find a way to come together and get it done. That's it.
And be on all this IDEWTP.
No, that's me.
Listen, this is good. If I had to say anything else, I would leave you with this thought. Think about it. You were once a child, right? You were once a child, and your child is now a child, but they will eventually grow up to be where you are. So just raise them with that thought. All right. And with all that being said, listen, we thank you so much for joining us here on Eat with the Poet. That's it, y'all. We about to get up out of here.
This food good. I don't know.
Cool people. Take me out of here.
Peace to all the queens. What's up out there? We live. Tapping in.
I need everybody to tap in.
Cool people. Eat with a Poet.
Subscribe.
Never leak it or show it. Gotta pull your own weight. If you reap it, you sow it. Come eat with a Poet. Gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food. Come and eat with a Poet. Kicking words with the poets, I get lyrical. Physical is great, my journey now is spiritual. Peace to the queens in the nation and foreign. I would like to introduce you to Elena the Poet. Stay down in the jungle like some bare feet. Now when we toast, ace of spade, no more bare feet. Poking beans, Dane County, yeah, I'm still hood. Spread love, feed the homeless cause it feels good. Now pay attention, this is knowledge of wealth. Throw the school books away, this is knowledge of self. Quiet is kept, listen, this the Revolution broadcast. Now pay attention to Elena and her podcast. Never leak it and show it. Gotta pull your own weight if you reap it, you sow it. Yeah, gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food, come and eat with a Poet. Come eat with a Poet.
Shout out to Elena the Poet.
Cool people.
See, I need everybody to tap in, subscribe.
Spread love.
You know what I'm talking about? Black power.
Black power.
Black queens.
Black kings.
Shout out to all the kings.
All queens.
Forward movement.